Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Derek Hunt and I am a professional stained glass artist, and today I'm going to show you how to create tiny little letters on coloured glass. If you've ever had the occasion to want to sign your name, or if you want to put a poem or a little inscription on a piece of stained glass, sometimes the best way to do that is to use a dipping pen. So I'm going to walk you through a project that I've just recently completed. It's actually quite a small diamond-shaped quarry that's going to be installed in a church quite soon with a dedication on it and a Tudor rose. This is the finished piece of glass, so let's just go through the process of how to create this and how to get those tiny little letters on glass. So basically what we have is some handmade flashed antique glass. I don't know if you can see, there's a slight difference in texture to both of those sides. This side is the unflashed side. You can just about see maybe the bubbles on this side here, and there are fewer bubbles visible on this side. That's because we're looking at the antique glass through a flashed layer. So I'm going to cut the glass on the non-flashed side because it's a lot easier to cut the glass that way around than it is on the flashed side. And to etch, I'm going to use some clear Fablon. Here in the UK, it's simply called Fablon, but it's just a sticky backed clear plastic. Here's a little pro tip for you. If you're going to apply sticky backed plastic to glass, the adhesion is always better if you warm the glass first of all with a hairdryer. So we're now ready to etch this top flashed layer to reveal the clear glass underneath. So to etch the glass, I'm using a sandblasting system. This is a great piece of kit. Basically, it uses compressed air through a pressure pot, which is down here at the bottom, and it mixes aluminium oxide, which is the sand, with pressurized air. It comes through a nozzle and it blasts the glass. In this cabin here, we have an air filtration system to get rid of all the nasty dust, etc. Come through this little nozzle here, and it's a quick way of etching glass. It's a great way of etching glass. It has its drawbacks. It doesn't have the subtleties of acid etching with hydrofluoric acid, but it's a really quick way of getting a result. So if you've got access to a sandblaster, I'd recommend this method. So here we have our etched piece of glass. And this is just unvarnished, unprotected sandblast. So one of the disadvantages that we have with sandblasting is that it's quite porous. It creates little tiny micro pits in the glass, the sandblasting, and that attracts grease and that attracts paint and dirt, etc. And it's quite hard to clean unprotected sandblasted glass. So if you kiln polish it first of all, letting it soak for about 10 minutes, those little micro peaks in the glass will melt and flatten out, and you'll get a much flatter surface which is much less susceptible to taking stain. And I'm using a dipping pen and pre-prepared ink. I have a video which I will leave in the links below on how to prepare the inks and how to use a dipping pen. Dipping pens are great for making small painted pieces that you need a lot of control over. They work really well with things like lettering, which we're going to do today. I recommend a specific type of dipping pen, and again, I'll leave links in the description below where you can find it on my Amazon shop. That's the easiest way to go because I have all of the equipment that I use in my studio. It saves you a lot of time and energy just going there. You can find all the information you need. So when working with a dipping pen, it's really important to use a bridge, especially if you're making small gestural movements like this. Cursive lines and small lettering requires a bridge to steady your hand. Just take your time and build it up in layers. You can always fire one layer and then add more density to the lines as you develop it. If you want to learn more about how to work with a dipping pen, check out this video here, which goes into a lot more detail on how to mix the pigments and how to work with a dipping pen to get great results. Remember to leave a like if you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.